Hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Family. Today, we're going to be talking about our most anticipated movies of the year, 2020, new decade, so new movies.
In no particular order.
Yeah, so this isn't really a ranking. It's just 10 movies we're excited for. I'm not going to do it like a ranking. I'll probably pull ones I'm less excited for last, but we're just going to go through. And I don't know about this year. I'm excited for it. Usually how
this
it
year
works,
should be called a Prince year. There's no great movies coming out, but there are
I think
popcorn movies.
One thing
coming
is that
out.
I always look for, besides like the blockbusters, I look for like my favorite directors, and I say who's putting out this year. And 2019 had a lot of my favorite directors put out films, but this year has some great filmmakers putting out some ones too. So, it's usually split. You usually have one. I just want a year where like every great director ever drops a movie. I'm
Just
sure there's
drop
been
it,
one,
yeah.
but I gotta look for it. So yeah. Anyway, if you have any honorable mentions of movies that missed your list, you can just say it quickly.
No, I haven't paid attention.
I had two movies because I had 12. I know you guys are gonna laugh at this, but there's a SpongeBob movie. I'm a huge SpongeBob
I heard it's
fan.
actually going to be really good. Like
I've
people
heard
are
it's gonna be
liking
good,
it.
so I'm excited to see that. And the other one is the Eternals. I don't really have a stake in this movie, so I don't know what to think of it. I just know that any movie that has the possibility of having Thanos in it excites me. I really don't care about anything else. This movie has to do a lot to impress me. I just want to see Thanos.
What about as a Marvel? Because I have this on my list in terms of just regular because it's Marvel, and I've learned, besides Captain Marvel, to never underestimate Marvel in a way. And I know nothing about Eternals. Like I don't know anything about the comic or anything like that. I know people were very excited at Comic-Con and all that stuff. But so, what is it that's not making you excited about this list and about Eternals in general? Like in terms of,
I mean, I don't know.
just no character that excites you.
Yeah, not really. Like, I don't know too much about the Eternals either. I'm not going to fake that I have knowledge for it. The cast is, I don't know. And I know a lot of people say you might have said that about a movie with Vin Diesel.
Guardians of the
But
Galaxy.
he also played a character with 3 lines,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked it because it worked, but I don't know if this movie's going to work.
Okay, cool.
I knew about Eternals coming out, but it's not on my list because I don't want to be excited for it because I also don't want to be disappointed by it. You know what I mean? It's Marvel's next step, so I'm just going to take it as it is. I almost know nothing about it. I don't know what Eternals is about. I don't know who's a part of it. Thanos being a part of it, that's news to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you have any movie?
Yeah, one for me that I'm very excited of along the Marvel line is Black Widow.
I also had Black
I'm
Widow.
very excited to see Scarlett Johansson get her own type of her own movie with that character. I'm a little apprehensive about it being before the end game or like a prequel because I don't know how cleanly it's all going to wrap up, especially if they consider to do a second Scarlet or Black Widow movie and a third one, and then it might just get a little choppy in there.
Yeah, movie I want to mention is this. I was telling you guys before we started filming. There's no way that anybody at all expects me to talk about this movie, but Farmageddon, which is by Shaun the Sheep, the people who made Shaun the Sheep.
Nice.
I know,
Is it stop motion
yeah, I think so. Or I don't know
or
actually.
claymation? Or
Not
whatever?
100% sure. But what I do know is I love Shaun the Sheep, Wallace and Gromit, all that stuff. And there's a lot of animated movies coming out this year, and I don't know, both Onward and Soul just haven't grabbed my attention. They both could be good as Pixar, but I don't know. Disney stuff recently hasn't been great. And Mulan doesn't look that good either. I know a lot of people think it looks
It's not
good.
on my list.
But I don't know, something about Farmageddon entices me. I want to see what they do with it.
Cool.
So, anyway.
I didn't even know about that. Okay. I have No Time to Die.
Me too.
And
So excited.
This is probably my highest anticipated movie, only because I'm such a James Bond nut, like in general, and just the prospect of a James Bond movie coming out, it's going to be on my top anticipated. And this is Daniel Craig's last one, supposedly. I know they said that every movie, but so I'm really excited about this, and I'll be there opening night.
I'm excited about this also because I feel like what's different about the Daniel Craig James Bond as opposed to the other one, each James Bond is really based on a mission. He's got to go do something, be the cool guy, save the girl, save the world. But this really shows, especially within the last two, more about Bond's history, which is something that we really never got to see too much of. And I'm also interested to see how they do a handoff because we've been told that there's going to be a handoff to another, a female James Bond. So I don't know if that's going to happen in this movie or if it's going to happen in the next one, but I just want to see how they handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, I also had that movie. It's definitely one of my most anticipated. I love James Bond. it's gonna be his last movie probably. Daniel Craig. I think that Skyfall is probably the best James Bond movie out of everything. It's at least
really
the best film.
really
you know, I think most people would agree with that. And this movie, I just wanted to have two things: great action sequences and a great stand up to Bond. It's gonna be 25, so that's a good number. You know, yeah, 25. I'm not gonna say 25 great films because there's a lot of low key trash in James Bond. But I still love the charm of every James Bond movie, and I hope this movie doesn't ever shy away from that. You know, I'm not saying you need to have something like some of the absurd gadgets that have been in some of the old ones, but I like when movies use gadgets. It's James Bond, you know what you're getting. James Bond's never tried to be anything it's not, and that's cool. And the natural evolution of a genre and a character is okay, but once I can tell like that you're really just trying to pander to something, I don't want to see your movie anymore, you know. And I think it's in Italy in this movie, which has got some gorgeous landscapes. I love nothing more than seeing James Bond kill and fight people on foreign landscapes. It's great stuff.
Nice
Hopefully the cars are cool in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just excited for this movie. And I wanted to add one thing to your Black Widow thing, because I also had it on my list. Just wanted to say a small thing. The one reason I'm a little apprehensive is that I feel like this movie might do too much comedy. I don't know. I think it's going to have some serious subject matter. And, like, when you look at The Winter Soldier, the movie that's the most comparable to this, I know every MCU movie has jokes. Some of it I want more, some of it I want less. And The Winter Soldier had such a great use of humor. There wasn't too much of it. It was probably the least humor in an MCU movie. And again, I'm not complaining about humor because some of the time is good. But sometimes they do too much. And I've been noticing more and more recently. It's one of the few things I didn't like about Endgame. And I really hope in this movie they don't do too much of that. You got to treat it serious. And I don't want it to get like Fast and Furious. And I can't believe I'm saying that about a superhero movie when those movies aren't superhero movies. But those movies, you know how absurd they get. So I hope Black Widow keeps its feet in the ground, you know.
Yeah. Funny you should mention Fast and the Furious because it's not one of my top anticipated, but I have to see this.
I'm going to see it, but it's not on my list.
It's not on my list. It's got to be on my list.
I know what it's going to be like before it comes out.
I've seen 8, so I need to see 9.
You have to.
You know,
I've actually never seen 8, and I've chosen not to.
You should see all of
I will not watch.
For the familiar, you have to. You know,
One movie that I'm really excited for because I was impressed by the first one is Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And I thought the first one was done so well. I think they're calling this one 1984.
Yes.
And the color scheme that they chose to go with it and the music choice they chose for the trailer, it kind of reminds me of what they did with Thor Ragnarok. How it's kind of just so far out there and it's got a comic book feel to it, even though it's a real movie or based, like, I guess, live action. So I'm really excited to see and I hope I don't get disappointed about this. But I have high hopes.
Yeah, 84 is one of my favorite years, and so that and being retro, it's got all the ingredients, and the Wonder Woman movie in general for me was one of the best. So this is going to be exciting because it's a sequel and it's with the same people involved.
Yeah, so also on my list as you too. Yeah, I think it should be good. I think I'm just a little bit less of a fan of the Wonder Woman first movie as everybody else because I really personally didn't like the ending, but I still thought it was super charming movie. The cast all did great. Some people like the ending, that's their opinion. It's cool, but like it's got a lot of great scenes. Obviously, the No Man's Land scene is great, and there's plenty of great stuff in that movie. And it's just a fun time to watch. Yeah. And the chemistry, I definitely am curious to see how they explain. And I don't know if they're gonna build something out of this, a new DCU. I still champion them to just redo everything because you're not going to really salvage it with all these creative control changes. Yeah. But Pedro Pascal, coming in as Maxwell Lord, who's an interesting character in the comics who I like. Maybe they'll bring in Blue Beetle. Very likely not, but it'd be cool. So I'm just excited to see what's up with this movie.
Cool.
So I want to add another movie.
Do it.
It's called The Last Night in Soho. Do either of you have that?
No.
It's a new Edgar Wright movie. His last movie was Baby Driver, which is an awesome movie. And he's just a really solid director. I love his writing, his editing, everything about his movies just feel very him, and I love that. And I don't really know anything about this movie. I don't even know who's in the cast for this movie. Jeez, I didn't do any research. I'm sorry, but I just know it's coming out.
And who's involved
and he's
in
great.
So,
And so I hope it's got that action / comedy he's great at. I hope it's got that signature just style that permeates all of his movies, from the editing to some of the shot selection to some of his takes. It's all great stuff. So yeah,
nice.
A movie I'm gonna add is Venom 2 because I like the first one. I know he didn't. I love Venom as a villain, and I think he's one of my favorite from Marvel. And Carnage because it's so he or she, I don't know what you want to qualify it as, is so similar to Venom that I've been waiting to see Carnage in a movie. It's red, all that stuff, and to have Woody Harrelson play him. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but I love Woody Harrelson, so I'm down to watch it. I'm in it. I'm gonna see it.
It's
for
not
sure.
on my list, but I'll add this. I think that it could potentially be better than the first. Do I think it'll be good? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Serkis is directing it, which is interesting.
that's
That'd be very interesting.
And he knows mocap. I don't
that's a
even think they
good
did
thing.
mocap with the original. I think it just did CG. I think they should have done mocap,
Yeah.
honestly. They've done so many different characters, and you got a guy who's like an expert at mocap.
Yeah.
You know, you really should use it. I don't know. It'll be cool to see Carnage, I guess. Maybe Tom Holland will be too, but I don't think any of that stuff that they've said is true. So
I had Quiet Place too, and
I had that as well.
just in terms of because I loved Quiet Place, and I'm just excited to see where the story goes in that way, and they have the same people involved in it, and that's a very important thing for me because in terms of confidence, and I've seen the trailer for it already, and I know this is going to be just probably. I hope it doesn't let me down. That's with all these movies. I hope they don't let me down.
Yeah.
You know, there's that hope.
There's always going to be.
But see, I'm a little worried with A Quiet Place too. It's a story that's not easy to extend, and they'll drop the ball trying to.
That's why I don't have it as like it's not high hopes because a sequel in horror is always hard.
Yeah.
So it's just like the bar's a little over.
Well, it's going to be
honest.
a bit of a prequel too. Right?
Yeah, it jumps back and forth. But
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer because I don't watch trailers, but I know
Smart.
about the plot for it, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. You know, I really like the first Quiet Place, and I'm just interested to see what they do with this movie.
The trailer
you know,
looks
when
good,
you have
yeah.
sequences as engaging as that firework birth sequence,
yeah.
you know, I want to see if they can top that. And I don't want them to top it like a sequel does, where it's like, well, last time you had 2 missiles, well now you're adding a missile and a helicopter.
Yeah.
And now you have 3 in a helicopter.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's more like now you have 2 babies.
yeah,
Twins.
I mean,
Well,
it's like when
there's
you
fireworks.
watch Triple X2, The Return of Xander Cage, when he drives a motorcycle on a beach wave.
Tsunami, bro. They made the wave bigger.
Well,
Hopefully it doesn't do anything like
yeah,
that.
I was gonna say. Didn't you
Damn,
like
I should've put
ski
that worse
down
than that
like
game.
a forest or something?
So yeah, there's a movie I want to add is The King's Man, which is a prequel to King's Man.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm just interested to see what, because they brought Matthew Vaughn back. I think he's actually a really skilled director who I haven't seen a movie from him in a while. But I think he's a really solid director. A lot of people hated Kingsman 2 because they said it was too weird. But like Kingsman 1's pretty weird.
Yeah.
They like
Yeah.
blow a bunch of people's heads up with like
yeah.
there's like it's almost like the Zoolander plot.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of weird. But I like the first 2 Kingsmen. This movie's definitely gonna be different, less technology based, but the action should be good. I hope the story's good. I'm just curious to see what they do with it. And the cast is all really good. Ray Fiennes, you know, I'm excited to see what he does.
he's
He's a
That's
great
on my
actor.
list for pretty much all the same reasons.
Yeah.
too. Like I like the first 2 really a lot actually, and then I'm excited to see how this one fits in.
Yeah. Nice. I have Tenet as
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
just because
I want to see it, but I couldn't put it.
and I have no idea what it's
on your
about.
list?
Well, because like I didn't know exactly what to be excited about for it.
I
I
don't
just know
either.
it's going to be a great movie.
I-
you know?
I'll tell you 2 words.
Yeah,
That's Christopher Nolan.
Exactly. That's the only thing I know about this movie. I don't have an idea what's going on, but I can tell you that if Christopher Nolan's involved in it, which he is, in terms of directing this, and if it comes from his mind, it's like I'm there. So
Yeah, I'm not as quite as big of a Nolanite as some people. I know some people like worship the ground he walks on. Not saying he's bad. He's excellent. He's great, you know. But I think it's a return to the sci-fi genre, you know, and I want to see what he does with that because his other 2 movies, they've been, if nothing, unique, you know, and they've been his approach.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much this movie's going to lean into the action side, if it's going to be more drama based. Whatever it is, I'm excited. It's his highest budget, and with the Inception, which what I think was his highest budget, second highest budget, maybe it's Dark Knight Rises, but whenever he gets a high budget, he does crazy stuff. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm going to spend all this money on CGI." He's like, "No, I'm going to blow up a hospital. I'm going to invert a set and take a camera." And you know, he doesn't play around. So I'm excited. The cast all looks really good. They got John David Washington, Robert Pattinson. I think Timothy Chalamet's in this movie. So I'm just excited to see what they do. And of course, it's always cool to see Nolan stuff because he always does some stuff, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." You know, he does. He always plays with time. Plus, you got Ludwig Göransson, who's the guy who did the Mandalorian music, Black Panther, and all that.
wow.
Great composer. So I'm excited to see what they do together too.
cool.
A movie I have that you probably don't have on your list. I don't know. I like Dr. Dolittle with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
I like the animal aspect of being able to talk. And then now Robert Downey Jr. is doing it.
Yep.
They have better technology. I like Robert Downey Jr. as an actor. I think he fits a bunch of different roles and he plays it very well. Outside of obviously like Iron Man, I really liked him as Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
did too.
excited to see him in this type of family-friendly, for lack of a better term, I guess it really is a kids movie, but
Yeah.
I am excited to see it.
Nice. Did you have any other ones? Or?
I just have two more.
Oh, you have two more.
I have like 3 more.
This is a weird one for me because I didn't really like Suicide Squad.
Oh god.
You put Doolittle.
And so,
Yeah, I guess I can't talk.
but Birds of Prey, there's something about Margot Robbie that I have faith in, but it's like this movie. Watching the trailer tells me not to have faith in it, but so
that's the opposite.
It's
for
like
Suicide
they really
Squad.
didn't learn. But it's like they didn't learn their lesson with Suicide Squad.
Whoa,
they just said, let's take Leto out and then go for it.
Let's not make any assumptions here, because I'll
and
tell you one
McGregor's
thing.
in it.
That's a good point.
It
wasn't on my list, but I want to say this:
Defend
Suicide Squad 1 through 3, 1 through 4 were 4 of the best trailers I've ever watched.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch trailers for
You talking
movies.
about trailers? Or
Yeah.
movies? Jesus, what?
I don't really
like,
watch
remember?
trailers almost ever, but I'm not joking when I say I watched I watched trailer breakdowns on YouTube. I never do that, and I was just so infatuated with what that movie was going to be. Disappointed, but still, yeah. Let's see what this.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm such a Harley Quinn fan. That's the problem. And I want this to be good, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't. It's from the animated series. It's just ever since I saw her in the animated series. It's like I've been a Harley Quinn fan.
Ewan McGregor, it looks like he's going to have at least a fun time on set.
He's going to enjoy it. Whether or not we're going to enjoy it is a different story. But
Obi-Wan can't be a bad guy. Not in my mind.
All right, you have a.
I have a few more. The Gentleman or Gentleman, I don't know how you say it, but with
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey and Charlie, or what's his name, Hunnam?
Charlie Hunnam.
Hunnam, yes, I always mess up his name. I like both of those actors because one of them, Charlie Hunnam, was in Pacific Rim and in Sons of Anarchy. So I'm not going to tell you he's a great actor, but I enjoy the movies that he's been in. Matthew McConaughey, I feel, is interesting for this because I feel like he's almost top quality, top tier, and this is not at his level. So I don't know why he decided to be in this. I'm still interested to see it. I feel like it's too close to Kingsman. So I'm not too happy about that. I don't know if you have any more movies.
what is it? Is it an action?
It's going to be an action movie. It's supposed to be about like an organized crime crime family that's like killing people, but in the quiet and they're classy. I don't know exactly, but it looks interesting. I have more too. I have The Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford. And the reason why
there's no way you have that.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. The book is one of my favorite books I've ever read.
based on the
book? It's a good book.
It is. And it's a really good book. Harrison Ford, I feel like if anybody can, he may have that old manness still able to relate to the young generation that he can maybe pull it off.
At this point, he's more able to relate to the dogs than humans.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really know. I want to see what it is because I've also never seen a Call of the Wild movie, and I really love the book.
Good for you.
And now the last two I saved, mostly because I kind of want to see if they're going to be bad.
okay.
Underwater. So it could either be good or it could be really bad.
When does that come out?
This year. I don't know when.
No, it's in like a week.
It's
Oh,
January.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So it's
January.
But so is Gentleman. It comes out the end of January.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not
And
excited.
then the last one, I
That's
promise
odd.
you, you're not expecting this one coming. Kong versus Godzilla.
Ooh, I knew you were gonna put that.
And
I had a
I'm
feeling you were gonna
excited.
put that.
You know, because I've put so much time already in the
Yeah.
movies, also
Yeah.
the Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
Like, it's just time to see what you
I
guys are going
saw
to bring
that.
for
And I was
me.
like, someone's gonna put that.
No high hopes on that, like whatsoever. I may even be impressed. That's how low my hopes
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. So my top, I know I said I didn't rank anything, but my top 2 most anticipated movies are above the other 8, which are kind of just interchangeable. Because at the end of the day, we're saying all this stuff on speculation and our hype levels and personal relationships with each of these franchises and whatnot. But these next 2 movies, I feel, are both going to be excellent. One is Dune. Denis
You're
Villeneuve.
laughing at Doolittle, but you're putting Doom? Like, are we talking about the video game Doom?
I said Dune.
Oh, Dune. Oh, I was about to say Doom?
No,
Like-
Denis Villeneuve, arguably the best director of the last decade. I'm not even joking. The dude is ridiculous. I'm so excited to see what he's going to do. His last 2 movies have been sci-fi. They've been beyond excellent, and I'm excited to see what he does with the genre. It's a solid cast. He did say one thing that I was like, oh, you didn't have to say that. He was like, oh, it's Star Wars for adults. And I was like, well,
Is it a
Star Wars
remake?
Yeah.
Because there was a
based off
Doom
a
movie
book.
before.
Yeah, Star Wars for all people, by the way. But anyway,
That's bad.
I'm excited to see what they do with this movie because I've heard excellent things about the book. I might read the book just, in anticipation. I've heard Star Wars takes a lot from the book and inspiration, which is cool. But I mean, Denis Villeneuve, if he could direct like this room behind us, and I would be like, all right, let's see what's going on here because he's just ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Interesting. I saw there's been 2 miniseries and I've seen both of them. So
Yeah.
I think I saw the first
which
one.
I kind of wish I
it's
wouldn't have because I wanted to go in fresh with this, but it's been so long ago I don't really remember. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add? Okay, so this is my last one. A movie that I feel like you guys didn't put on your list just because you didn't know it was coming out. Mank, David Fincher's new movie.
Ooh.
I mean, David Fincher, speaking of people who could direct anything, and I would watch it. David Fincher could direct this table, and I would watch it because the dude is ridiculous. I don't know who's writing the script for this movie. I think I saw, I forgot, but you got Gary Oldman.
Oh,
Top tier actor. Netflix is doing the movie,
Nice.
which
What's
is
it
like
called? Spank?
Mank.
Oh, Mank.
I mean, like Netflix, they're making moves. They got David Fincher and Martin Scorsese back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Those are impressive people to get movies from. But more than that, I think that this movie is just going to be compelling. I mean, if you like movies about people arguing about who created what in creative control over something, you probably like The Social Network. Guess who directed that? The guy who's directing this movie, you know? So I'm really excited to see this movie. I think it should be very gorgeous visually because it takes place during like the 30s and 40s. I'm excited to see what they do with the movie of Citizen Kane because I feel like every director should have a movie that shows their love for cinema. Not every director has that, and it's not a bad thing. Of course, you can make the movies you want to make, but I think if you're a director, you probably love films. Actually, you like 100% love films unless you're like a weirdo. But if you make movies, you should make a movie talking about why you love movies. And I think that's going to be that for David Fincher. Martin Scorsese had Hugo. Tarantino had like pretty much all of his movies, but Once Upon a Time, you know. So I think that this should be a great movie, and it might be my favorite movie next year. Seriously, this year. David Fincher's on something else. So yeah, I'm excited for this movie. Nice. But yeah, if there's any movies you're anticipating or you're excited for, let us know down below. There's a lot, obviously, plenty of movies we didn't talk about. And, you know, I'm always looking to get surprised. I didn't mention any A24 movies because I never really have, like, hype for those movies, and I don't even know what they're releasing this year. But anything they release, I'll pretty much see. So, yeah, I'm excited. I would say I'm excited for Blumhouse, but...
They're going to need to release a miracle to bring back their reputation.
I don't know. These guys have trashed on. So, yeah.
Christmas too.
But, yeah, if you have any movies you're excited for, let us know. And like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.